September 19th, 2022, Halfcast 350, episode 350. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. An evening of reflection. Shall we? Ohio parents arrested after their children were found locked in a bug-filled cage holding a meth pipe. If someone finds themselves at the crossroads where they have to choose between their children and their addiction, that's bottom. That's rock bottom. But it's also a time to take what little bit of clarity you have left and find a proper, a healthy, a safe living environment for those kids. If not for yourself, do it for the kids. The Ohio parents allegedly fled the residence initially, but were arrested on Monday after a brief foot chase. They were high. They probably thought they were halfway around the world. Two parents were taken into custody on Monday in Ohio after their children were allegedly found in terrible condition by detectives who were serving a search warrant in relation to a sexual assault investigation. What the hell is going on in that house? Law enforcement located a 3-year-old child locked inside a cage, which was secured with zip ties. The cage that the infant was in was filled with bugs, soil bedding, and a cup full of spoiled milk. The Hocking County Sheriff's Office said on a Sunday, conditions you wouldn't even subject an animal to. A 2-year-old was also found walking around the residence holding a methamphetamine pipe. Something inside of me is telling me that if a 2-year-old could find the methamphetamine pipe that easily, then they would probably walk around the house using drugs openly around the kids. Look at these two. A match made in meth heaven. The parents of the children, and I mean parents in the most scientific, base way, biological way possible, 38-year-old Franklin T.J. Varney and 25-year-old Megan Smith initially fled the residence due to their involvement in the sexual assault investigation, but were arrested after a brief foot chase through the woods near their home on Monday, the sheriff said. Felony charges for endangering children have been filed against them. The grandmother of the children, 61-year-old Ella Webb, the grandmother, is supposed to be the stabilizer, is supposed to be the ground wire in these situations. She's supposed to be the rock. Was also arrested on child endangerment charges on Sunday. Damn it, she was part of the problem. She had custody of the children, who have since been taken into emergency custody and placed into foster care by social services. Next up, Exec for vegan alternative Beyond Meat jailed for allegedly biting flesh from man's nose after NCAA game. As an executive, you should have known that was going to be terrible for marketing and horrible for the brand. The chief operating officer for the company behind the vegan alternative Beyond Meat was arrested Saturday in Fayetteville, Arkansas, after he allegedly bit flesh from the nose of another man after a college football game. This only confirms what I already knew, that these people are in these Beyond Meat press conferences, these people are in these Beyond Meat board meetings, and in their head they can't wait to get out of there so they can sink their teeth into a Flintstone-sized rack of ribs. Douglas Ramsey was arrested after police said he punched the back window out of another man's car, struck him, and then bit flesh from the tip of his nose. That does not sound like the behavior of a vegan at all. That sounds like the behavior of someone who eats everything well done and deep fried. Or a zombie. Could always be a zombie. KNWA reported the incident began with a man driving a Subaru struck the tire of Ramsey's vehicle in a parking garage on the campus of the University of Arkansas after the Razorbacks defeated Missouri State. I had to throw that in there. The fight allegedly then became anything but vegan, I'm telling you. The report states the owner of the Subaru then allegedly got out and stated Ramsey pulled him in close and started punching his body. According to the police, Ramsey also bit the owner's nose, ripping the flesh on the tip of the nose. The victim and the witness, whatever happened to just exchanging insurance information? The victim and the witness reported hearing Ramsey threaten to kill the owner of the Subaru. Occupants of both vehicles got out and helped separate the parties. Records from the Washington County Jail, where Ramsey was held after his arrest, show he was booked at 11:14 p.m. Central Time Saturday. He bonded out the following day. How are you going to explain to the shareholders that you didn't just have a burger over the weekend? You had human flesh. Yeah, we're going to need you to step down. Ramsey was held on multiple charges, including terroristic threatening and battery. He has court dates scheduled for both October 19th and October 20th. Next up, Brooklyn Bishop Lamar Whitehead arrested after allegedly grabbing woman during live stream sermon. How this man still has a congregation is beyond me. The only public speaking he should be doing in the church is calling out bingo balls. At this point, is there anyone who's leaving his service and walking away feeling fulfilled, uplifted, and motivated and ready to be productive for the next up and coming week? Or are they just happy they didn't get a gun shoved in their face? A Brooklyn bishop previously robbed of $1 million in jewelry mid-sermon is now in the headlines again after reportedly grabbing a woman during a live stream sermon. The incident happened Sunday. According to the New York Daily News, Bishop Lamar Whitehead reportedly grabbed a woman who he believed was a threat to his family. After getting robbed in the middle of your own service, you don't get to lower the bar of what spooks you to some random woman walking around that's attending your service. You either have to leave it the same or up the bar, but you don't lower it. They locked me up in front of my children, in front of my wife, in front of my church. Whitehead told the Daily News hours after his release. They publicly embarrassed me, and then they dropped all the charges after 2 hours and apologized to me. He's going to be running for city council or some office position. How much do you want to bet? Whitehead told the media outlet that he was preaching at Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministry in Canarsie when two women walked into the church in the middle of his sermon. I was almost done with my preaching, and these two young ladies came in and sat in the back, he recounted. You want to come preach? Come on up here, Whitehead was heard saying to one of the women, who could be heard shouting off camera during the social media live stream of the services. I'm going to make you famous. The video shows the bishop walk off camera and tell someone, now move her out of here, while heckling continues. One of the women then comes toward him. The video shows she came in the middle aisle and just started cussing me out, calling me all types of names, calling me all types of things. Whitehead said she came back storming toward my wife and my 10-month-old baby. He continued, she went toward my wife, and that's when I grabbed her. I grabbed her and took her out of my church. All I can remember was the guys with the guns who put their gun in my baby's face. The video shows Whitehead appearing to grab the woman by the back of the neck and push her off camera before yelling, grab her, grab her. The Daily News said a detective arrived at the church after the sermon and told Whitehead he would be arrested and charged with assault, which I'm sure the NYPD is tired of him and the drama going on at that church. They put me in cuffs and I told them I wasn't getting in, and they grabbed me and picked me up and put me in the car. Whitehead said there were a lot of little kids in church that are frightened now, which after that initial robbery in the middle of the sermon, my children will not be attending that church. We'll watch you on a live stream, but we will not physically be in that place where all of that is going on. All the little babies in my church saw me get arrested. The ones that look up to me, he's not a role model. I'm sorry. Police began to process Whitehead at the 69th Precinct Station House. They dropped all the charges and let me out. He said, you don't get to arrest me and throw me in prison. They had me in a cell with someone with felony charges and let me out. It's not going to stop here. If I was a rabbi, if I was a Catholic priest, they would have never done this. One of the women involved was also reportedly taken into custody, police said, but neither she nor Whitehead were immediately charged. It sounds like the police were just trying to de-escalate the situation. It's a pretty damn rough way of de-escalating the situation, but it seems like that's what they were trying to do. Whitehead was heard in the video calling out the disruption for social media purposes. They were some wannabe up-and-coming bloggers, he said. They came to my church to disrupt my service. This man has terrible luck with live streams. Why not just do the recording so you can edit out the robbery and the assaults later? Fun show. Fun show. Fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.